In this video, we're going to recall writing the equation of a line. We have two forms of lines that we will use the most. We have y equals mx plus b, our slope-intercept form, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And we have the point-slope form, which is a little bit less familiar, where that's y minus a number, y1, equals m times the quantity of x minus x1, where x1 comma y1 is our coordinate that we're going to substitute in, and m again is our slope. So this is called our point slope form. Now, the most simple, most basic version that we would have would be if we were given the slope and the y-intercept, because then we can simply plug it into y equals mx plus b form, slope-intercept form, 3x plus 4. The next form that we're going to look at is if we are given a point and the slope. So this is given a point and a slope. So if we have the point 1 comma 3 and the slope of 4, we can again write y equals mx plus b form, or we would be able to write our point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, I'm going to show you both methods. So if we look at the y equals mx plus b form, we would simply plug in our y equals 4 times 1 plus b. So 3 equals 4 plus b, so b is going to equal negative 1. And then we would rewrite our equation. So y equals 4x minus 1. Point slope is a little bit different because you need a point and the slope. And you're only going to plug them in. You do not have to solve unless you're told otherwise. So we would plug in y. We leave the y, the first term, alone, and we substitute our y1 value in for the other y term, is equal to 4 times x minus our x value. At this point, we would be done. This equation is written, and if we solved for y, we would end up with the exact same equation, y equals 4x minus 1. The third type of equation that we're going to look at writing is called writing the equation of a line if we're given 2 points. So in this example, we're going to be given the point 1 comma 1 and the point 3, 5. Now, unfortunately, this time we don't have a slope, but we do remember that slope, which we call m, is delta y, the change in y, over the change in x. So we can substitute in our two y values, so our slope, because we always have to find slope first, 5 minus 1 over 3 minus 1. And when we simplify, I get 4 over 2, which does simplify to positive 2. So now we have a slope, and we have two possible points to use. So I'm going to pick one of them. I'm going to pick the point 3, 5. And I'm going to use the point slope form. So y minus my y value from 3 comma 5, so y minus 5, is equal to 2 parentheses x minus the x value, 3. Now, if I wanted to solve, so that would be finished. I could stop here. But what if I wanted to solve, find out what the y-intercept was? Maybe I was trying to plot my points to graph. So I would be able to solve for y. So I would distribute through my 2x minus 6, and then y, add 5 to both sides, I get 2x minus 1. Now you're probably saying, I'm not so sure about this by now. I'm a little confused. So let's make sure, let's see, because it should go through the other point. And we can write, we'll check it using our old faithful y equals mx plus b. So 1 equals 2 times 1 plus b. 1 equals 2 times plus b. Negative 1 equals b. And we know our slope was 2, still the same slope, so we get y equals 2x minus 1. So either way, we get the same answer. Once we've looked at equations of regular lines, now we're going to start looking at equations of lines parallel and perpendicular. So we're going to look at parallel first. The first thing I notice is that I'm already given a line, but it's not in the equation form that we like, where it's y equals mx plus b, so we have to first get it to be in y equals mx plus b form. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add 8x to both sides, and I get 4y equals 8x plus 4. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to divide everything, every term, by 4 to get y by itself. And when I do that, I end up with y equals 2x plus 1. Now we're writing the equation of a line parallel to this line. So I know now that the slope is 2. So I'm going to come over here and write m equals 2, because this is going to be my new line. I'm going to start again. So I have a slope, and I also have a point. It was given to me up above, 2, 7. So now I'm going to proceed just like I always do, and I put y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to use the slope that I got when I solved my first equation. So 7 is equal to 2 times 2 plus b. So 7 is equal to 4 plus b. So 3 is equal to b. And of course we have to write the equation y equals 2x plus 3. So when we look at these two equations, they do have the same slope, 2, but more importantly, or most importantly, they have different y-intercepts. One has plus 1, the other has plus 3, because we remember that equation of a parallel line, they have the same slope and a different y-intercept. In this example, we're looking at writing the equation of a line that's perpendicular to another line. Now remember, when we talked about perpendicular lines, we said that their slopes were negative reciprocals. So we're going to start the exact same way that we started with the parallel lines. We're first going to solve for y to get y by itself. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides to get my y started. So I get 6y equals 3x plus 12. And then I'm going to divide everything, all the terms, by 6 to get the y completely isolated by itself. So y is equal to 3 over 6, which is the same thing as 1/2 x plus 2. Now from this point, this is where our writing the equation of our new line is going to differ. So our original line had a slope of positive 1/2. Well, when we write the equation of our new line, since it's perpendicular, the slope of our perpendicular, and remember that little upside down t means perpendicular to, it's going to be the negative reciprocal, or the opposite and flip. So opposite sign, so it's positive, so it'll change to negative. And 1 over 2 becomes the same thing as 2 over 1, or negative 2. So now we have our slope, and we were given the point 6, 2 that new line is going to have to go through. So we can just, like usual, y equals mx plus b. But this time, instead of like the parallel lines where we use the same slope, this time we're going to use that negative reciprocal, the opposite sign and flipped. So 2 is equal to negative 2 times 6 plus b. So 2 is equal to negative 12 plus b. And we get 14 is equal to b. So y is equal to negative 2x plus 14. And now if we look at our two equations, the first one had a slope of positive 1/2. The second one has a slope of negative 2, which is the negative reciprocal. So that means that these lines will be perpendicular.